Great.
Hello, this is how we'll replace your floppy drive to our upgraded floppy to USB. On the back here, the power cord and the serial cable you'll remove.
Great.
Located on the back here are 4 screws. You'll remove these to get to the inside.
Great.
Once these screws are loosened and removed, you can slide the case out, straight out. Next, you'll notice there's a metal panel here. You'll remove these 2 screws to get inside of the panel. Once the 2 screws on the top are removed, you can now remove this panel. Next, we'll be removing these 2 screws here. After these 2 screws are removed, pay attention to these 2 plastic holders for this circuit board. You'll want to lift up and lay down gently to expose this wire here.
Yeah.
So next, you'll either want to get a pick or a flathead screwdriver to gently lift up these tabs here. One there and one there. And then once they're lifted up, you can remove this cable. Notice the orientation, shiny side out. Next, you'll want to remove this smaller screw here next to this larger one, and this smaller screw next to the larger one. Notice the difference in color, how it is more golden. That'll allow you to identify which one it is. This screw and this screw.
Okay.
Now you'll want to lift the circuit board up, and you can screw it into position if needed. But down here is where the floppy to USB is going to be at. So you want to loosen this up and pull into where it's loose like this, and it can just come right out.
Okay. Yeah.
Next, you'll remove 4 screws housing the floppy to USB in your case, or in general, a floppy drive. Next, you'll want to take your floppy to USB, in this case like this, and you'll want to lift up your tabs here and here like this. To get the cable out. And now notice the front of the floppy and the back of the cord here go like this. You don't want to do it like this because you can damage your floppy to USB if you do it reversed. So silver side facing the front, back facing the back.
Yeah.
So now you'll take your ribbon cable that you've taken out of your old drive, insert it in the new drive, and then push the plastic secure tab down where it's nice and tug. Next, you'll just reattach this into the housing, and then we'll reattach it inside the control panel. Next, you'll reattach that floppy to USB back in its housing in the control panel with those 2 screws replaced here and here. You'll set that circuit board back into this orientation, plug in that ribbon cable that we took out earlier, have the silver side facing outward away from the control panel, secure it back in, and then we'll replace the circuit board back into here. Please note to remember, these plastic tabs holding the control panel secure on the bottom, and then we'll reattach the 2 screws here. All right, once we got these 2 screws back into place, we're going to replace the metal cover. It'll slide on, slide in between these connections here, and then we'll replace the 2 screws that go on top here. Now that we have this metal cover back on, we can now replace the plastic cover. Remember, the plastic cover has 4 screws. It has this slide guide here, So we can slide this in easily underneath the control panel housing in the back. And it should sit like so. So the slide guides go here. Then we'll replace the 4 screws and we'll be done. Tell me when. This is what your floppy to USB should look like inside its housing. If it's pushing anything out, you may want to readjust